Hi, I'm Dave McNabb, President of FlowTracker Analytics. Today we're demonstrating the Credit Union KPI benchmarking app. The first thing you'll want to do is to maximize the screen. In the lower right-hand corner, there's a toggle. Click on it. Now we're in full screen view, which you can do from your web browser. We have the navigation menu in the upper left-hand corner, where we can look at trend reports, peer comparisons, frequency distributions, and the definitions. Let's start with the peer comparisons. Here we have a set of ratios for 4,622 credit unions, updated, as you can see in the time period here, to the latest quarter. Now you can go back and look at other quarters if you wish to. We can narrow down the list of credit unions that are included. For example, going to the central region, the state of Illinois, and selecting the city of Chicago is what I'm going to do here. And we have a list of the 25 credit unions in Chicago. We may choose to also filter it down by assets. And in this case, I'm going to take all of the credit unions under $250 million in assets. So there we have our 24 peers. We can also filter it by field of membership or select individual credit unions to include or exclude, depending on what you view as being your peers. Once we've made our selections, it's helpful to enter into focus mode. And let's walk through the ratios. Here's all the credit unions listed that we selected. The first ratio we look at is the price ratio. It is revenue over balances, which we compute as interest income plus fees divided by assets and liabilities. The reason we do that is that gives a whole balance sheet, holistic view of where do we stand in terms of our revenue producing per dollar of business that we're doing. The position metric is balances per member. What we're looking at here is the productivity of the individual relationships that we have. And the reason we call this positioning is because it looks at, are we in the high end of the market? Are we in the low end of the market? Are we in the mid-market? What's our member profile look like? We break that down into shares per member and loans per member to add flavor to it. Service level is members per employee. So are we high touch or are we a retail model? The members per branch and employees per branch, again, offer flavor into the service level. Staff mix, which is compensation per employee, is total compensation divided by total employees. It includes full-time and part-time. The productivity ratio is revenue over compensation, which is really the end game in retail banking service delivery. So what we have here is a ratio that genuinely shows for each dollar we spend on people, how much are we bringing in revenue? The way these ratios work together is price times position times service level divided by staff mix equals the productivity ratio. We include the loan to deposit ratio and return on equity as additional benchmarks so that you can use the values that are showing here to understand where your positioning is with respect to your competitors. Now let's go back to the report. Having selected our peers, we can take a look at the frequency distribution of the different KPIs. The purpose of having this is to understand whether there is clustering or whether there is wide dispersion in the results reported at a glance. So you'll note that the filters were all carried through from the previous page. We have, in this particular marketplace, a fairly low loan to share ratio distribution, which suggests that there is a need for more lending in this marketplace and an opportunity for it. Pricing is very tight, which suggests that this is a very competitive marketplace, and the vast majority of credit unions in this marketplace sample are able to run their service levels on a model that has essentially got 300, 400 members per employee. Interesting insights for operations. We can also look at trend reports. The trend reports show us historical information going back to 2011. So you can see in the date range here, this is selectable. You can slide it back and forth to select the date range that's relevant to you. And we have historical information. These averages are in fact national averages, and the projections are created using artificial intelligence, taking into account seasonality in order to forecast into the future certain key items. Now that's a lot to absorb, so we've included a help link in every one of the pages of this report. If you click on the help link, it shows you how to drill down. It shows you how to manage your way around the different views of the pages, and it tells you how to sort and select information. I'm going to go back to the home page briefly, and you'll also see that you can get to the definitions. The definitions are an audit trail, if you will, taking you back to the call report data. And that's a quick summary of what we have in the Credit Union Key Performance Indicators application. We hope you find it useful. Thank you very much.